I love that track. It's actually called Frank of the Future, but this is Frank of the Present. That's actually his name, Frank. I might send you the whole thing. This is Frank Bring Business to Life, the Frank Brand Show. I'm hoping that you guys are with me after the last few shows where we've been building up to kind of a series of show and tells. And this one is going to be Kapadia Rose. Now, if you click on your present button down the bottom and share the screen, if you could load up your Kapadia Rose in a different screen, we should be good, I think.
Just chuck it on here.
Go on then.
What do we do? Present.
Present, that's the one. And you can either share the screen or I would say share the screen. That's probably the best one.
Okie dokie. Well, can you see? Oh, what's that?
Once you've shared it, then I'll be able to add it to the mainstream. But guys, what we're going to be doing today is talking through what I would refer to as a successful branding. And Frank's going to talk you through a little bit about some of the thought processes behind it. So if I just add that to the stage there.
Can you see that?
Well, you haven't opened it up yet.
I have.
I think you've shared the wrong bit of the screen. So I'll just bin that off the stage. That's all right. We'll get there. This is what happens when you do live TV, guys. But the whole point about this is it's going to give me a moment to set the scene. Frank tends to go through a process. It's a basic 4-stage process that enables him to get to the point where at the 4th stage, you can apply it out into the general world. There we go. I see it now. Perfect. Oh, and it went. You took it off.
Oh.
Try that again.
Well,
that's all right, guys. Third time's a charm. That's all right.
I'm lucky.
It's all right. So the whole point is that if you applied those principles, you end up with almost as something that can be applied to all aspects of the business. Now, the last stage, it really isn't the full stage. That's it. That's fine. Let me add it to the stage. The last part of this is very much how do you use it in the real world? So this is where I'm going to toss the caber straight over to you, Frank.
Well tossed. Yeah. So thanks for that little introduction, and sorry for faffing. Sorry for the faff there.
Not at all.
Faff is useful sometimes. But anyway, I always reiterate this, and I do bang on about it. I know, but the starting point for all business transformation is not the design. Yes, I'm a designer. That's all good, and we all want brand identities. But it's the inner brand, what you do, how you do it, what's your purpose, your values, and stuff like that. So the design, all the lovely stuff we love, should only ever result from research and positioning. Otherwise, it's just meaningless fluff. And we talked about this, but I really must stress it's really essential to do this. And so what I do at the start of every project, these are the covers of my brand questionnaires, which is they're the cover pages, but basically they're full documents, PDFs. You type in all the questions, the answers to the questions in there, and that comes back to me, and that gives me basically everything that I need to know about a brand, and about the business, about your market, about your preferences, and and I do the brand strategy, and that comes wrapped up in a strategy document. For this particular client, it would look something like this. Reason why it's important is there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of competitors who offer pretty much the same as what we do. Some are better, some are worse. But if you've got this inner brand strategy, it's going to define what sets you apart and what sets your offer apart from the competition. It's really important stuff. So it's also going to guide your brand messaging across all your marketing, across your website, across all your touch points. And important stuff. It needs to resonate with your customer niche, and that's going to increase customer loyalty, which is what we all want. So if you got that and it's coupled with a unique brand identity, it gives you a massive advantage over your competitors. And once there's a couple of little bullets there about what it achieves for you. And once that's in place, it's only then you move across to the exciting stuff. Well, strategy is exciting, but everyone wants
strategy can definitely be exciting. The most important thing there, which people seem to miss out all the time, is why you exist, and that's really right at the beginning of all the work you do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fundamental, and of course the answer comes back to make money. You know, and of course as business people we're here to make money. Of course that goes without saying, but it's that's not, or it shouldn't be, the core purpose of why you're running a business. Normally it takes a bit of picking apart and some digging around and some heartfelt conversations. But yeah, it's getting to the core of why you're doing what you're doing. I mean, you know, we when we start businesses, we don't start it because we hate what we do. We do it because we're passionate about it, and so it's really it's getting all that passion and getting it into a document, so your staff know about it and the world can know about it. So yeah, we looked at the external brand is, at the very least, it's the logo, the color palette, the typefaces, and the graphic style and look and feel, and you know, basically the way I work, I present, depending on the price package, I normally do like 3 different brands, and then the client can kind of pick and mix to a certain degree from all 3, right, with a 4th direction. So so what we're going to look at today is this. This is the chosen logo for a recent brand that I created. And
is there any way, forgive me, can you describe what the previous logo was like compared to this? I assume it was actually not even vaguely similar, is it?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I can't actually remember.
But I can see that within this logo,
yeah,
not only is it astoundingly simple, which I love, simple, elegant, geometric shapes, yeah, but also I can see both the K and the R in there, kind of in the negative space. It's very cool.
Bravo. Yeah. That's, lots of people don't see it. So this was I really loved this project. I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun to do. Kapadia Rose, they're really passionate specialists in psychiatric reporting for the medico-legal industry, which I'd never heard of before I met them.
It's what they call a niche industry, isn't it?
It's very, very niche, yeah. And now all this sounds really stuffy and dull. And to be honest, when I did my competitor research, there was lots of companies out there that did look stuffy and dull. But what I love about this project is that Hassan Kapadia and Emily Rose, they're both the co-founders of the business, and they work together. So they're life partners and they're business partners. And, you know, they're very much in love. You can tell that. They're amazing. They're colorful. They're empathetic. They're really energetic and off the wall, and really incredible professionals. So it was a fun project, lots of energy. And it's great because together we've created a brand that really perfectly encapsulates the essence of them as a couple, but it's also created this high impact, differentiated, beautiful brand. So just because you're in a so-called stuffy business sector, or perceived as being stuffy and techie and things like that, doesn't mean that you've got to have a an identity or a brand. But yeah, lots of companies are trying to look like each other because they think that's how they should look. But
I think that's often the case, isn't it? You want to aspire to be like that big brand there, so you ape it in some way by mimicking some aspect to its branding.
Yeah, and everyone's kind of looking at each other, copying each other. So it becomes this very vanilla kind of landscape. So I mean, what I like to do, and hopefully my clients embrace that, is really rock the boat and you know, do something different, you know. So the basis for this, because last week when we were looking at the Circles brand, you know, there needs to be a solid rationale that ties in and emanates from the previous inner brand work.
Guys, this is the part where he twists my noodle and I start seeing stuff I never actually saw in the original thing. I can't stop seeing the arrows now in the circles.
Brilliant. I know, that's good. Once you see it, you can't
unsee it.
Yeah. So
right,
you spotted the abstract KR in the last one, and it is an abstract icon that reads KR, Kapadia Rose. That's Hassan and Emily. So both the K and the R represent two halves of one whole, which symbolizes, Hassan and Emily together next to each other. The K and the R represents the business and their relationship, if you like. And the K is basically created by 4 quarter circles, and the quarter circles.
And that hadn't occurred to me. That hadn't occurred to me.
So it did actually start off as a circle, and then it got extrapolated. So I really liked this idea of them being a whole, and this unified unit of wholeness, and they really work well together. So split that in half, and then obviously I'm looking at it has to be relevant to the business. So it was like, okay, I'm mucking around with these elements, and of course once you flip it around and play with it, it turns into an abstract KR, and it's just like it's like bingo.
Are they all the same Pantone color, but with different densities?
Initially, yeah. I just I think I did 25% tints, but when it comes to the actual logos, they are separate colors. You have to make separate colors. You can't really work with tints. It's a technical thing to do with printing. Otherwise, it just looks, when you print something as tints, it hasn't got the vibrancy it needs. But they are tints. It's the same thing. So it creates what I like about it with these quarter circles. It represents them and their unity, flips it around, creates a K and R, which also represents the business and them. But also these little quarter circles that create a unifying graphic device that you'll see in subsequent slides. It creates this a visual system, if you like, with unlimited creative applications, which I shall show now. And what that gives it is this visual integrity across all the different bits.
Well, that's what we were talking about. It's got to be applicable everywhere. That's the thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Color palette. Very colorful characters. Hassan and Emily. The clothes they wear, and apart from their personalities, they're both very bright. They wear really nice clothes, and they like attention to that. So the color palette, which I thought
people after my own heart.
Yes, I thought the color palette might get shot down in flames, but it went down the storm. You can see elements of it here, and bit of typeface. You can see the butler at the bottom there is quite a high impact, quirky font.
What I like about the butler typeface, it's in some weird way it echoes the logo.
There is elements of there. It's nice and curved, and it's a buxom font, I would say, if I was going to describe it. So really, it's just you can see here, like, applying this brand language, and you can see on the card next to Dr. Hassan's name, there's this little point, this arrow, which is actually the negative space from the logo, which again is this reoccurring theme, as you'll see as you go along. You can see it, where the pen is at the bottom of the footer there. You can see it pointing up. So it's this nice little device that
lovely.
That cool. It brings attention. If it's on a poster or a social post, it's like an arrow pointing to the important bits, if you like, or can be. So brand guidelines, always good to have. So it basically it's the Bible, or whatever you want to call it for the brand.
No, I call it a brand Bible. It's absolutely, you look to that first for your answers, basically.
Yeah, So it gives you all the rules, the do's and don'ts. There's a few pages from it there.
Sure.
Again, and then once you've nailed all those brand elements, really it's the next stage is brand extension. And once you've got that brand Bible, you don't change. You that's it. You don't have to change it. If it's done properly, you keep it consistent. And I'm always banging on about this. It's about consistency. Always make sure your marketing and every touch point is consistent. There's a couple of little things put together, and you can see how the brand works. It's flexible. It's got this flexibility to take across to different mediums and objects, and so whatever application it's applied to, you can tell the brand is there. It's got this DNA thread running through it. So yeah, and
I do like the purple, but then of course I would.
You're purple. This is his and hers. This is a scarf for Emily, and wait for it, and a cute tie for Hassan.
Oh, I thought you were going to have a hat, or at least a hat band.
That's just a mock-up, but we did put together. I put together a whole suite of social posts, and this is when I gave them. I think it's about 150 different templates. So
is that them there? They look very good together.
Yeah, that was them. This isn't, but basically they're dummy pics. They're just placement, and it's dummy.
No, this is stock imagery. But I get that. But I see that the negative space with the inbuilt arrow is in evidence. Oh look, they've got the circle come back again, and it's very good.
Yeah, and you got quarter circles, and really it's just playing around and being creative with those elements. And to be honest, it's limitless. The ways that it can be used. So so they've got their templates, and they're all fully editable. Actually, I've just started offering this to clients. I actually build out these templates in PowerPoints. They are editable, and plus you can move stuff around. So in reality, I deliver about 150 templates, but once you start editing them, it's unlimited where you can go with them. So
of course.
So that was cool. What was next? Oh, it's the website. Yeah. So it's just taking all those elements and taking it across the website. The website is live, and it is a thing of beauty. I love it.
It's simple and direct, which I appreciate very much.
Yeah, I think if you've got really nice elements, you don't need lots of design. I don't know, fluff. You've got a solid palette. You've got a really nice typeface. You just need lots of white space or negative space to let the elements breathe and have more impact. And with the strategies in place, we had the strategy, we knew the target audience, the language to use, the goal, the offer, everything, the brand identity is in place. So it's just really applying it to the website, and this ensures a cohesive brand experience for the user. I think that's there's a homepage there, and really the content's perfectly engineered to have this immediate positive effect on their audience and driving engagement. So if you want to maximize clarity and engagement and wow factor, then you need high impact. It needs to be differentiated from your competitors.
All right, let me bring it back to the two of us. Look, I think anybody watching has got a fairly clear idea that you can, by doing less rather than by doing more, you can really draw attention to yourself. But it only really works if the branding is somehow linked back to a inalienable truth about what it is you're representing. So in this case was the relationship between the two people, how they're both they're related to each other in life, but in as much as they are partners, and they're also partners in the business. So the four quarters of the circle coming together. Is all these style cues that really, if without trying to sound too sycophantic, really separates your work from others. We have worked with other branding specialists in the past, and most of their stuff involves faffing around with an over complicated logo, and just taking a standard font without thinking about how it relates and the colors, how it relates to anything else. Whereas yours has got a really good, strong brand story. That's excellent. Thank you so much. I would like. Can you do another one next week, please? I want to hammer this home. You see examples. We've done circles.
Yeah.
We've done Kapadia Rose. I'd like to do one more, and then talk about future branding and maybe some elements that people can look about in their own branding to make a decision about whether they need to rebrand, whether they need to look at it or not. It might be what they're doing is perfect, and they look at me and go, Gareth, Frank, what's the fuss about? It's perfectly fine. But
I think that therein lies the problem, because lots of business owners, they're great at what they do, they're passionate at what they do, they're excellent on a technical level, and everything about it is brilliant, but they haven't got an insight into their own brand. So the first thing is speaking to someone who they can trust, who's going to be honest. And it might, as you say, it might well be the case that everything's looking good. You might need a couple of tweaks, but it could be the case that it's an absolute disaster, and that's holding your business back from growth. Because no matter how good you are, people are seeing your brand touch points, your website, and they're just like, oh God, it looks a bit unprofessional. So psychologically, they think the service is unprofessional too, which is a little bit unfair if you've got the really great business.
It's the trouble, isn't it? Because unfortunately, we live in a superficial world where people will look at the front surface, and if they aren't drawn in by it, if they aren't, if it doesn't pull them towards it, they won't necessarily plumb your delightful depths.
I don't think it's unfortunate. I think it's the duty of a business owner. Branding isn't some, it's not. Branding is strategy. You have to have it. It's not something
about thinking beyond the end of your nose, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So if you need to get it sorted at some point.
Well, guys, thank you very much for going on this little journey for us. We're going to do a bit more next week. Until then, I would say keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars, and do look after that mental health. Until the next time we speak, bye-bye now.
See ya.